Leprosy was a horrible disease. It took once beautiful faces and disfigured them. It took once athletic bodies and crippled them. It took good families and great friendships and ripped them apart, forcing the leper to live away from everyone they knew. Lepers, human beings who loved and were loved, and were used to physical contact, the power of touch, would never be touched again, never be hugged again. It's a horrible disease. Can you imagine then what it would have meant to have been healed of leprosy? Healed of all that? To no longer have to deal with the never-ending pain, the countless physical challenges, the scorn, the avoidance, to no longer be pushed away from everyone you love in the world. It's hard for me to even imagine what it must have been like to have been healed of such a horrible disease. Yet, though 10 were healed of leprosy, only one returned to say thank you. Didn't they all have equal reason to be thankful? Why did only one return? What happened to those other 9? We can only imagine. And imagine we will. Perhaps the first one said something like this: "Now I have so much else to do. I am so stressed. I've got to find a place to live now. I've got to find decent clothes. I've got to get a job. I've got to build a resume." It was such a long walk back to try to thank that guy, whoever he was, who did that for me. There's just so much I got to do. I know sometimes I get like that. Maybe sometimes you do too. The next leper thought, you don't thank people for giving you what you deserve. I mean, it's only fair. I had to stay out here on the outskirts of everything while my family had weddings and baptisms and gatherings at Christmas. I could never join again. My friends were out playing sports and they were dating and falling in love and making babies, and I couldn't do any of that. I deserve this. I deserve this healing, seriously. Didn't I deserve this? I'll bet there are some of us here this morning like that. Another response: I was so excited by how pretty my face looked now, my new face. I had to go and take some selfies. I had to get this posted on Instagram and Facebook as soon as possible so I could get as many likes as I could get today. It never even occurred to me to go back and tell Jesus thank you. Never crossed my mind. I bet sometimes we get like that. One began to think he did it himself. That must have been the American. I'm the one who got up the courage to step out off the sides of the street, to stand in front of this man and flag him down in front of all those people. I called out for help. I got myself to the priest to be okay to him. I am responsible for this healing as anybody. I'll bet there's times when you and I start to think that way, like we really did it. We got that A because we studied. Oddly, on some level, one of them actually enjoyed being sick. It gave him a good reason to feel sorry for himself, to have his own little pity party. And he didn't want anybody to take that away. One leper never really believed she was cured. She kept worrying. She kept watching for symptoms. She would wake up in the night thinking, oh my gosh, it's back, I know it, I know I still have it, it's here somewhere. She kept waiting for the symptoms to show up. She couldn't ever let herself enjoy her healing. She could never let herself be happy again because she didn't trust that it was true. Some of us get like that sometimes too. For one of those lepers, there was this fear of being really vulnerable. It takes a little vulnerability to say thank you to somebody. If I say thank you, it's like I owe him now. It's like I'm going to be beholden to him now. It's like I'll be admitting out loud I needed help. I couldn't do it myself. It's like he has power over me if I am truly grateful to him. Plus, I figured he knew. Why would I have to say it out loud if he knew? Why wouldn't he assume I'm grateful? Some of us here get that way too, don't we? And then there was the one who was ashamed that he got sick at all. Really embarrassed. What did I do wrong to catch leprosy? What did I do wrong in my past? What kind of immorality did I indulge in that God would punish me like this? They were embarrassed and ashamed. They certainly don't want to go in front of a crowd, have to think about it again, have to talk about it again, when everybody around them already knew. I bet there's some of us that are so embarrassed that when we get a cold we can't even admit it, much less have a chronic disease. We're just embarrassed to be that weak. And finally, the ninth, the one former leper who was just bitter and resentful. Look how much I suffered for so long. Why would I go in front of those people to say thank you when those are the people that shunned me, that turned their back on me? They treated me like garbage. Why didn't I get better sooner? Why me? I bet there are some of us here like that this morning too. 9 never came back. 1 did. This one too had all those same reasons not to be grateful. But this one made a different choice. He saw how blessed he was now, and he chose to swallow his pride and swallow his ego and swallow his comfort and his shame and his busyness and his stress and his resentments to go back and say thank you, thanks. Yes, I have a lot of other stuff to do. Yes, I'm embarrassed to do this. I hated being sick, but look how blessed I am. I'm healed. I want to find this man and tell him how grateful I am for what he gave me. I don't know how this one learned to be so grateful. I don't know who taught him the importance of having a grateful heart. But this one knew the great truth that gratitude matters. And it matters greatly that I be grateful. Gratitude is what makes us whole. Your gratitude will save you. Without a doubt, A grateful heart is the key to a joyful life. The simple prayer, thank you, the simple prayer, thank you, God, is described by many of our saints and our mystics as the most important prayer we will ever say, and the only prayer necessary. You and I, like those 10 lepers, we each struggle a lot in life, don't we? And we are each very blessed. We have our challenges. We have our letting goes. Yet we are blessed beyond measure with so much to be grateful for. Today and each day. Yet I bet most of us, when we woke up this morning, never even thought to thank God for this new day, this new chance to be alive again. I'll bet that many of us never even noticed how blessed we were to have something to eat for breakfast and that we could even taste it at all. I bet many of us focused on all those things we don't like and found so many reasons to not be grateful. How many of us never even noticed this beautiful fall day here in Missouri? I bet many of us walk past blessing upon blessing upon blessing, too unaware, too busy to give thanks. Yet I also know there are some among us this morning who have learned how to be grateful. And they're easy to notice because they're so delightful to be around. You see it in their eyes. You hear it in the kindness of their words. Their joy. Their joy is an invitation for us to learn to see like that ourselves now. My friends, young and old alike, because I love you, and I do, I share with you what I know to be the truth for me. You and I need to think, thank you. We need to say, thank you. We need to breathe, thank you. It's essential to our souls. It's essential to our relationships with each other. And it's essential to our relationships with God. There are always plenty of reasons to not say thank you. But there are always even more reasons to say thank you.